Yesterday, you listened to the story Henry and Mudge. Henry and Mudge is a realistic fiction story about a boy and his dog. Stories are written in a certain order, and this is called the sequence of events. If you remember, the sequence of events is our target skill of the week. You can use clue words in the story, such as first, next, then, and last. Those types of words can help you follow the sequence of events. Using these clue words can also help you retell the story events in order. Today, we're going to go through the story, and I'm also going to show you a flow chart. Okay? I'm going to use a flow chart to show you what happens at the beginning of the story of Henry and Mudge, and we're going to work on retelling this part of the story. We're going to use clue words to explain the sequence of events. And I'm going to use words such as first, next, then, and last. So Henry and Mudge by Cynthia Rylant. Henry had no brothers and no sisters. "I want a brother," he told his parents. "Sorry," they said. Henry had no friends on his street. "I want to live on a different street," he told his parents. "Sorry," they said. Henry had no pets at home. "I want to have a dog," he told his parents. "Sorry," they almost said. I'm going to stop here. What have you learned about Henry so far? Think about that. What have you learned about Henry? But first, they looked at their house with no brothers and sisters. Then they looked at their street with no children. Then they looked at Henry's face. Then they looked at each other. "Okay," they said. "I want to hug you," Henry told his parents, and he did. Look at the pictures and think about what you read so far. How do you think Henry's parents feel about him? How does Henry feel now? Henry searched for a dog. "Not just any dog," said Henry. "Not a short one," he said. "Not a curly one," he said. "And no pointed ears." What do you think Henry means when he says, "not just any dog"? And now that we know the kinds of dogs Henry doesn't want, which dogs in the picture do you think he won't want? Then he found Mudge. Mudge had floppy ears, not pointed, and Mudge had straight fur, not curly. But Mudge was short, because he's a puppy, Henry said. He'll grow. Why does Henry think it is okay that his new dog Mudge is short? And did he ever? He grew out of his puppy cage. He grew out of his dog cage. He grew out of 7 collars in a row. And when he finally stopped growing, how did Mudge change as he got older? He weighed 180 pounds. He stood 3 feet tall, and he drooled. "I'm glad you're not short," Henry said, and Mudge licked him, then sat on him. How does Henry feel at the end of the story compared with how he felt at the beginning of the story? So just a reminder that our target skill of the week is sequence of events. And in Henry and Mudge, one event happens and then another and another. And the order of events in a story is called the sequence of events. And you can use a chart to show the order of story events. You might use a chart like this. It's called a flow chart. It's how things flow from one into the other. And you might use words like first, next, and last. You might even use words like second or then. So we always start at the very beginning with the first main event that happens in a story. And in Henry and Mudge, can you think about what happened first? What happened first in Henry and Mudge? What happened next or second? Then what happened? What happened last? We will use charts like this that go along with our target skill every week because they will help us organize our thoughts and our information and better help us understand what we're reading and thinking. So I'm going to show you as an example because this is our first week and we need examples sometimes to see. So first, Henry asks for a brother. Then Henry asks to move to a different street. Next, Henry asks for a dog. Then Henry searches for a dog. He finds Mudge. Last, Mudge grows very large. So you can see that this goes from these little arrows tell it in order, and it's going down from one event to the next.